Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my short stories of the type that's in my book Soloists. This one is called Big Balls. Vijay Patel looked up at the clock, 6:30 p.m. When he first became an engineer, he'd be happy to work another few hours. But now he sighed and wished he could quit for the night. Actually, he thought about quitting engineering forever. But all those years I invested, India Institute of Technology, and in climbing the ladder. And what would my friends think, my family? I could hear my grandfather. What? You're going to open a restaurant? Only the lower castes do that. Actually, yes, he thought. Indian food is some of the most interesting. And I'd bring my engineer's perfectionism to it. No oily pre-made buffets. In fact, nothing pre-made. Everything to order. And of course, no canned sauces or gulab jamun. Fresh vegetables. And I'd buy my spices from my friend Vishnu, who imports the best cumin and coriander and cloves, cinnamon, turmeric, fenugreek, cardamom, all of it. I'd make the naan right, each piece fresh in the tandoor. To keep prices down, I'd find a location that's good, but just dicey enough that the rent will be okay. And he did all that. And his family ridiculed him. His mother said, I am embarrassed. We are all. You gave up our directorship at Apogee Software to open the 10 millionth Indian restaurant? Idiot! His son Subhaj was even more vicious. You know shit about running a restaurant. You'll piss away your savings and go bust within a year, and then nobody will hire you. Who'd want a software engineer who'd quit to open a restaurant and failed at age 53? Vijay did everything he promised himself that he would, and discerning customers returned again and again, but there weren't enough of them. Slowly, his already marginal business shrank. He felt forced to say yes to the ad salesman who suggested he advertise a 10% off coupon. That didn't help, but Vijay said no to upping it to 25%. I will not give you 25% of what I've worked so hard for. And that's what he also said to the delivery services, DoorDash, Grubhub, Caviar. But now, Vijay was bleeding serious money and decided to stop hiding the problem from his son, who was a marketing manager. Subhaj said, Finally, thank you, Dad, for coming clean. Let me market your business. I can make it successful. The only thing I ask is that you give me 3 months to do it my way. If you don't like the results, you can go back to your way. Vijay felt he had no choice. And Subhaj sprung into action. He decided that the key would be to make the restaurant a cool option for Gen Zers. Vijay's Indian restaurant? Stodgy. Mumbai Mambo? Better, but Mambo is for old people. We'll make the gulab jamun, or round dessert balls, huge and call the restaurant Big Balls. Decor? We can save. Cheap posters of Gen Z performers. And we can name dishes and drinks after them, like Beyonce Biryani and the Taylor Swift cocktail. Gets you drunk swiftly. We'll bring in live music. I know I can convince Gen Z cover bands to do it for exposure to their target market, plus it's a date magnet. Waiters? I'll visit a few malls and hire away good cell phone salespeople, offering them commission on appetizers, drinks, high-priced entrees, and desserts. To help them and myself, I'll have tabletop tents for appetizers, drinks, desserts. Our plates are stupid. Yeah, they're hand-painted from India, but the rims are narrow. That means you got to put more food on the plate to make it look full enough. I'll steal a lesson from frou-frou restaurants. Ultra-wide rim plates, and in white so the contrast with the food's color makes it look like there's more food on the plate. And no more free naan. I'll charge a lot for it. And I don't want them filling them up on bread. I want them to pay for big-ticket, high-margin stuff. Drinks, appetizers, entrees, dessert. To further discourage naan while saving money, no more making naan fresh in the tandoor, store-bought and thrown in the microwave. It took too long for Dad to make the dishes to order, so I'll use canned sauces. They're not bad. And I'll have the busser put them in black plastic bags. In the dumpster in back of a frou-frou Italian restaurant, I once saw a bunch of empty canned sauce cans. I don't want my customers to see I used canned sauce. If I use canned sauce, I'm going to need to get Dad out of the kitchen. Maybe I can do it if I flatter him into saying he'd be a great maitre d'. Nope, wrong demographic. I'm going to use hot college girls. I got to get him to work just in the back office. He said he'd give me 3 months to do it my way. Okay, on to publicity. I'm going to make funny 30-second videos on TikTok and Insta, like holding up the big balls. Organic's hot, so I'm going to say we love organic. That doesn't mean it needs to be 100% organic. Maybe just some organic spices would be enough. I'm not allowed to solicit Yelp or Google reviews, but I can get around that. I'll tell the waiters that whenever a customer praises the restaurant, to give them a card I'd print up. One side would have a Gen Z-oriented riddle on it, like, when does 1 + 1 = 3? When you don't use a condom. On the back, the card would say, we're loved on Yelp and Google. That'll get the point across that we want a review without our actually soliciting reviews. I'm also going to need media reviews, so I'm going to research all the main restaurant reviewers and find their hot button. For example, if I see one who also reviews marijuana, I'm going to send him a joint of Super Primo stuff. Not so much stuff that would seem like a bribe, but enough to make him feel good about me. Maybe make him laugh and come review my restaurant. I am going to use DoorDash, Postmates, and Caviar. I'm going to hire some kid to go to nearby office buildings, go to each office and offer to leave some takeout menus with the receptionist. I'll start with moderate prices, but raise them as soon as I can. Not only does the public foolishly assume that higher price means better quality, the bigger profit's going to get me a higher price when I sell the business, which I'm going to do as soon as business starts to level off. Vijay fought nearly all of that, the Bowdlerizing of his ethically crafted restaurant, but Subhash kept reminding him of their deal, 3 months. It didn't happen within 3 months, but 6 months later, Subhash got his father to agree to sell Big Balls to Restaurant Holdings Group, Inc., which promised, we'll have the restaurant honor Vijay's legacy while maintaining Subhash's modern focus. But a year later, Restaurant Holding Groups, Inc. scudded the restaurant to the studs and replaced it with La Vegan Peruviana. In any case, that short story is called Big Balls. I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments, and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel, and also flattered if you check out my book, Soloists. The subtitle is 125 short stories of introverts and outsiders facing a dilemma. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.